team and
Good
Mahesh
evening.
Garu and all participants. Very good
Good
evening to
evening.
you all. Hope you had a very tough day, I guess, because the steam picks up on the second day of the court work. Monday, generally, all documentation, filings, and others, but second, actually, Tuesday is the toughest day in the week. Anyway, with that, without much ado, I would like to regurgitate, I mean, what you have read so far, and some madam was inquiring about what we have covered so far. At the same time, you have a documentation, I guess, that what is the 10-day workshop and day-wise schedule I have already presented. And I requested Sridhar madam to play that 40 seconds invitation to the 10-day workshop. That would have given you a fair idea of what these 10 days consists of and how are we going to close it. Today we are in day 6. Day 5, I want to regurgitate. What is that? That subject was analyzing or investigating cybercrime. But can anybody reflect on what I have walked you through on day 5? Anybody?
Is it day 7 or day 6?
Day 6 only.
Okay. May I share that invitation?
Yeah, please.
Here it is. Is it visible?
Now coming up. Not yet. Now, yes.
కంటిన్యూ చేయాలా ఆపాలా సార్?
You can, but what about the 10-day schedule? It is
షెడ్యూల్
not yet.
వన్
Schedule.
ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ వస్తుంది.
రాలేదు మేడం, ఇంకా రాలేదు. We are in the one slide which is talking about my credentials.
నెక్స్ట్
నెక్స్ట్ రావాలి కదా 10-day స్కెడ్యూల్. డే వైజ్ స్కెడ్యూల్ ఒకటి ఉంటుంది కదా మేడం.
నువ్వు షెడ్యూల్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఆపమంటారా, ప్లే చేయమంటారా?
స్కెడ్యూల్ వచ్చినప్పుడే ఆపాలని నా ఆశ.
ఓకేనా?
స్కెడ్యూల్ రాలేదు మేడం ఇంకా.
వచ్చింది సార్.
అంటే కొంచెం ల్యాప్స్ ఉంది టైం. నరేష్ రెడ్డి షేర్డ్ అనుకుంటా. Yeah. This is the one I was expecting. This is the one. So now everybody is clear of. I was about to share from my side also, but everybody is now clear in what is going on and how each day has been covered. You can project the same thing, madam. This program schedule. While you are viewing Yagna Legal screen is coming up, but my credentials brief profile is coming, but not the tender schedule. This you can share. The one
యాక్చువల్లీ
Venugopal has sent, Naresh Reddy has sent,
ఏమని
Indraja Madam has sent. Anyway, so now all are aware. Let us get into the subject without much um, time digressed. So, I'm trying to share.
ఐ హ్యావ్ ఏ కన్ఫ్యూజన్. ఇవాళ డే 7 డే 6?
Day 6, madam, day 6. Don't worry about that.
ఓకే సార్. day 6, sir.
So, my screen is visible, I guess. So, today's topic we are covering on the impact of IT rules 2021 on intermediaries in India. So, this is a curtain raiser only, but in detail we'll go with the presentations. So, let me show presentation. Anyway, this is my other main skill set, in fact, where bits and bytes meet borders and boxes. I draft the agreements that keep commerce flowing while I unentangle the legal knots of tech-driven trade from shipping lanes to digital wallets. So that's my punchline. So if you follow, it is a cross-border technology e-commerce where several contracts have to be in place, several permissions have to be in place, and without a proper contract, we may land into trouble. So those are the legal knots which I would un unknot or unrelease or release from the tech-driven trade. So now today it is the dealing subject is intermediaries. So what is the why rules IT rules 2021 have come into picture? And then I've already covered, but at the same time, we'll again regurgitate brief overview of the IT Act 2000, then introduction to IT rules 2021 and their significance. And our scope of presentation is summary of the major amendments introduced by the IT rules 2021. We'll focus on changes related to the intermediaries. Then what are the impact of these amendments on the digital ecosystem? Then what is due diligence? Anybody who is a chartered accountant in our group or any auditor for that matter or anybody who is in the role of compliance, that is compliance officer, which is also a role in terms of intermediaries. So these people will understand the very word called due diligence. So, what exactly is due diligence? We'll cover that, but we are rushing through as a curtain raiser. Due diligence framework outlined in the IT rules. Then specific obligations for social media, news, and other intermediaries. By this, you might have understood what is intermediary. You will be anxious, or you are already anxious in knowing what is an intermediary. So, intermediary is to do with social media, news, and other interactive platforms. I have not yet disclosed the definition. We'll come there. Challenges in meeting the due diligence requirement. That is, compliance, what is a regulatory requirements following, conforming is nothing but the compliance part of it. Then you have user grievances. Like what is the user grievance? Be it a Instagram, be it a WhatsApp, be it a Google chat or any WhatsApp, all these come under this umbrella. So user grievance is, sir, I have already sent to you, but you are claiming that you have not received. So I keep telling the meaning most used example is one check mark, two check marks, three check marks, blue color, red color. So blue color, red color calls for due diligence. Why? You are under the scanner. What is the scanner? The government has held up a lens in scrutinizing your activity. The activity calls for you are sending a chat message, you are sending a video, you are sending a voice, and whatnot. Attachments in terms of picture, everything, all come under that lens. So once you are scrutinized and it is offensive or it is not complying with the regulatory requirement, your tick mark changes into blue. Once the warnings or summons received by the user from the government agency that mend your ways, check your, watch your tongue or watch your words, watch your actions, is not adhered to, then red mark. That means you are getting a serious summons and police can arrest without a warrant too. So these are the user grievances which come under the radar. Then there is a grievance redressal mechanism by the government of India under these IT rules. Then there is a timeline, and the timeline, like we have 90 days to close an issue or 90 days to register an FIR. These are timelines also percolated down to this IT rules 2021. So the timelines have to be confirmed by the law enforcement agencies to the users' complaints which are logged in or registered. Then there is a nodal officer called grievance officer who evaluates your query or your complaint and gets into the shoes of you to understand what exactly is your problem. Then he will apply the related amendments and coming to IT rules 2021, while the basic structure remains from IT Act 2000 and amendments thereof. Then uh, user grievances also cover how effective, what happens to my status of my complaint, or how it is redressed, how is it addressed, and what is the culmination end result of it. So that calls for effectiveness of grievance redressal mechanism. Then, I already told you in several of my hybrid electronics examples that traceability is very important. I used to tell hopping from one address to another, like an information package, be it terms of voice, be it terms of image. These packets transfer or transmit are transferred from one node to the other, or one IP address to the second IP address, and so on. Then I told about encryption, decryption also. Then there in this encryption algorithm, the packets are zigzagged and put in such a fashion that the decryption algorithm will understand how these are placed and are miss the sequence, or there is a miss sequence, but that does not raise your eyebrows. No, it is purposefully made and the sequence is altered so that the intruder the snooper will not recognize, oh, this is A and I expect B to follow. No, some E packet will come after A, then B follows C, then like that. The irregular pattern. All these are coded into the decryption algorithm where the entire sequence is ordered and conforming to the main algorithm, to which the entire decrypted message will give the real message. So end-to-end encryption versus the traceability, it is understood. Now, why exactly traceability? Audit trail. You remember that audit trail. When we as digital forensic expert submit our expert opinion or report, we have to submit with all the details like screenshots, where one packet is being transferred to another uh, node, that is IP address A to IP address B. Again, uh, let us not forget that the IP addresses are static as well as dynamic. So these are all part of the traceability. Traceability at that juncture, based upon the algorithm or the code which is executed, necessarily fools the snooper, fools the intruder, fools the hacker. So it is our wish that we are not traced out. At the same time, traceability should be intact. That when audited, the packet goes as per the coded sequence. Now, purposefulty, I already told you. What are the challenges in implementing traceability without compromising privacy? Now, recently in the last session, I told you Data Privacy and Data Protection Act. Let us not get into the details, but overall, what is that subject? It's released, enacted November 2023. What is it all about? Privacy. So, without somebody's personal details not being compromised, at the same time maintaining the privacy, you have to implement the traceability without harming the source. That is why we as digital forensic experts, what we do, we take a copy of the original and not to tamper with, because by mishandling or by to err is human. So if you by chance spoil the main source, then the entire case is gone. You are compromised, you are eased out, and and the accused can be scot free because you have unnecessarily spoiled the main evidence. So we always take a copy of it and proper mirror of it and operate on the dissecting or doing postmortem. So these are the challenges implementing traceability without compromising the privacy. So impact of the user trust and security. Because now if you implement or install an app, then there are certain cookies. That's why last time also I mentioned we are like jumping from first slide or first day of our subject to last day also, because it's a cyber crime, encompasses from A to Z, if not more. So don't think that I'm jumping here and there. No, it is relevant, and we sometimes it is a proper reminder to understand what the concepts we have driven into our thought process to this day, where we can leverage out of the educated knowledge. So uh, the trust part and the security part. When the application is being installed, immediately cookies pop up, and there are nowadays I think people are aware there are performance cookies, then traceability cookies, then just data collection cookies, then information cookies. What do these information cookies take? Your name, your user ID, and um, some other details also, which could be private and personal. So I have some screenshot which I will be showing later, but let us not digress. Now I just opened WPS. It is another suite of Microsoft Word compatible presentation and other access Excel. So when this is for example only, but at the same time it is true. I have that screenshot. Just let me show you. I can show you in the system also, but let me. Okay, it is in the system, but I have another one which is to show. Always I tell VPN. I was trying to access my bank account from my mobile. There is an iMobile for ICICI bank account holders. Everybody is able to see um, my smartphone. All are muted or what?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Able
What
to
does
see.
it say? Alert. What does it say? Alert. VPN connection is detected on your mobile device. For a safe banking experience, please turn off your VPN. Are you seeing that?
No, sir. Not able to see, but we are able to listen to you.
This
It's
one
not.
now?
No, sir.
Now
It's
also?
only blank. No. It's
Oh,
only
okay,
blank.
okay.
It's visible.
Now actually I'm in the screen sharing environment. So I can
Yeah,
just
yeah.
okay, now I think it should be visible. So this is the power of VPN, virtual private network. See this. Now you are able to see. Can somebody respond, please? Now you're able to see.
Yes, sir. A VPN connection is detected. It's again moved. A VPN. Yes, sir. Keep it. Keep. A VPN connection is detected on your mobile device. For a safe banking experience, please turn off your VPN.
Okay, thank you. So what does it mean? Even my own banking operation, I am not able to access. Why? Because VPN is such a private network where it is tunneling protocol. That doesn't allow. that doesn't allow some other app to intervene or some other app to what do you say, take its slot. Why? Because I am in a tunneling protocol and it's already installed in. No intruder, no snooper can get into the details. So that is what the power of VPN. And everybody, please install an VPN. If not, use the in-house VPN available from your smartphone or your ISP, or not ISP, MSP, mobile service provider. So now, compliance. I also talked about compliance.
So once again, please repeat that. So VPN, how to use that?
Yeah. What phone you have, madam?
Oppo.
What is that?
Oppo. OPPO.
Okay. Just go to settings or just go to your own apps. In that, in-house built-in VPN will be there.
Okay.
Samsung provides through its Knox security software. KNOX is the security software in all the Samsung phones, and every Samsung phone buyer or user has the privilege of using the free VPN, which I have installed. Just I have to initiate. Likewise, you also have with your own phone, what do you say, system provision. If not, your mobile service provider also provides that. So you check that and always keep that so that your phone cannot be hacked. In my phone, if I claim a tall claim that my phone cannot be hacked, there is some other person who is better than me to hack and challenge me that, see, Mr. Jaker, I am hacked and my photo is this. So let us not go into those details, but it is considerably safe if you are installing or initiated or invoked the VPN settings. That is, you are safer than the rest of the community. Mark my words. So now getting back to our subject, compliance with the content takedown orders. So what is the takedown orders? Intermediary, we are not yet understood what is the definition of intermediary, but we are like creating the mindset or setting the context in getting into the intermediaries. What is that? So if the content is offensive in nature, like now everybody is very happy in forwarding whatever he receives, as if some credits he earns by forwarding to groups as well as individuals. Like suppose now, what is the current subject, madam? Sheikh Hasina has landed in India. What is happening? Very, very, very sad situation that how human beings can go or can stoop into such a low levels. How many are abreast with the latest happenings in Bangladesh and landing Sheikh Hasina, ex Prime Minister landing into India? How many people are aware?
Yes,
Not
sir.
aware of.
Excellent. Excellent. What does the news talk about? They not only ransacked the most securest or most secure building in Bangladesh and pulled out saris, pulled out undergarments, pulled out shoes, pulled out what not, and they are taking selfies with them and projecting that they have achieved something great. So this is the level a human being can stoop down to. Very sad situation. Now that being forwarded into WhatsApp, if not Telegram, if not Twitter, currently X. So, is this an offensive content? Yes or no?
Yes,
Bangladesh
sir.
is our friend.
Yes, sir.
Bangladesh is
Yes,
our
sir.
friend.
Definitely.
Exactly. Bangladesh is our friend. Whereas the two groups, that is, it's an Islamic country, but the two groups, and it's open. Nothing no gun can be pointed to me because the Hindu minority and the Muslim majority are at loggerheads doing something bad for each other. So now, what is that? Now I have talked about the what is it? Sedition laws, 195. Then
Sedition.
exactly, and the BNSS equivalent, instigating, disturbing, and disrupting. What are the BNSS sections? I have told at least 10 times. Please respond. BNSS sections. One is creating. If you post a message, we are in the subject of what? Content takedown orders. Why I'm telling? It is not just sharing the news of the world to me. No, you are all perfect audience. You are all the perfect participants, and the subject is also same. And subject calls for taking down. That's why I'm mentioning. Why at all you people, me, not only you, me, has received that very heinous video about the happenings in Bangladesh without the regulator snubbing it and not taking down the content. Now we are see, I will tell you, I am from BHL. So there are people working in BHL and they are the refugees from Bangladesh. Some are Bengalis, some are refugees from Bangladesh. The moment drawing parallels to the American context, most of the blacks are they are come into the American colonies like Jamaica and others, and the main America and the Europe as slaves. They were called Negroes. Today, if you utter that word Negro, he will slash your throat. Simple as that. Why? It is so offensive to them that even after emancipation by Abraham Lincoln, why we are still called Negroes? Point number one. Point number two, back home now. You are creating a rift by making a loose statement, hurting the sentiments of one community and creating a hatred to the other community. What sections now? I am asking you a question. What sections of BNSS come into picture? 192. You made a statement attributing to a community and that community has created a right. 192 perfectly applies here. Next, what is happening between two communities? Hindus and Muslims. And it's a country, Islamic country. Who are Hindus? Hindus are minority. Majority are um, Muslims. So you are creating a rift also. Then you are creating a rift. Not only that, you are creating a hatred to one religion. Now you see, 192, 196, 299. You go and check now. And these three are so effectively interpreted that these sections apply for this content. You still want to enjoy that content in your WhatsApp without the regulator. See, about 6 months back, Modi government was pulled up when child pornography content was left and right distributed. Then, then they told YouTube, um, Twitter to pull down those content and take down orders were issued on Twitter. Now X. You followed now example?
Yes, sir.
Say yes, sir. No?
Yes,
No.
sir.
Sir.
Yes, excellent. Now, what is that intermediary's obligation in complying with such orders? Immediately they have to trace. Why? Why now I am talking about trace? They have to trace from which server it was forwarded, which servers which were hosting because the server is the host. Then they are all in a depository. Like how I opened my program or my PPT or my work document or a Word document, it is from a folder. Likewise, this folder is encompassed or stored in a server. All the servers have to be traced and those content has been deleted from the source, that is the server. So if we do not comply with the obligations, then you will be pulled up. Now comes to safe harbor provisions and potential liabilities. You're only seeing my screen or me too?
Both, sir.
Both, sir. Both.
Oh, okay, fine. So now, what is safe harbor provisions? What are the potential? Thank you for that feedback. What are the safe harbor provisions and potential liabilities? Then, now I told you, you have to watch your words, you have to watch your tongue, watch your speech, because it's a forum where anybody, the other person who don't like, who don't or who doesn't like your statement or doesn't appreciate your forward, can straight away say, I received from so and so ABC person. These are really potential. Yeah, no, he does not. He cannot become judge. This video of the of coming from a person has a potential liability or a potential to create rift between two communities to hurt the religious sentiments of one community and to create a riot. So all these three sections of BNSS apply 192, 196, and 299. And if it is forwarded to the CERT, Computer Emergency Response Team, one aspect, 1930, our cybercrime reporting, you are definitely liable to be pulled up. Now, what is the role of this X or Twitter? What is the role of what is the role of sorry, uh, WhatsApp, which are intermediaries? There is a safe harbor provisions. What is that provision? He is absolved of you people fighting each other. Arey bhai, I am only service provider. How are you making me respondent? But we will make them respondent. Fine. Why? Because as a oversight body means C-level executives have to poke their nose at every stage. Like they their reports will come. Who are the intruders? Who are there is a report. Okay, that let's not go into that detail. That report will give this C-level executive to understand whether I am safe, I'll be respondent. That is why C-level executives are the highest paid because they are the respondents. They own and they are accountable for anything such this intermediary is passing through. Now that is why here comes the subject called balancing free speech and law enforcement. So seeing Krishna, please mute yourself, sir. uh, Balancing your free speech and law enforcement calls for simple reminder, you should stop at the red signal. Now comes the chief commercial officer. So what does the chief compliance officer do and what are his roles? Qualification and responsibilities of the chief compliance officer. Then, who are the other key personnel required under the IT rules 2021? Then, what is the impact on organizational structure and what are the costs involved? These we have to bear in mind. So, I already told you, I was a compliance officer in BHL, IT auditor, at the same time, head of internal audit, who does this job of compliance as a job of compliance officer. So we can go in other coming slides. Examples of intermediates implementing the IT rules. Then what are the challenges faced in the this in the process of intermediaries and their provision, service provision, and the solution which are adopted. So we have standard best practices for compliance and the future trends of the intermediates and the challenges faced. Thank you for this. Now we'll go into next session or next presentation. So, so far, how far you have understood, how far you have followed on the subject section, and questions you can shoot. So I would urge you people also to go through my program schedule and come prepared so that it can be more interactive. Like if somebody is really proactive, they could have come up with questions on Shreya Shingal. She is also an advocate. So these are the like I also asked you like please come prepare with the questions and concerns of the previous session. That is day 5, investigating cyber crimes. So before going to the main subject, Madam Nagalakshmi Sirisha Garu, I would like you to reflect on what I have told about your question or a little bit more understanding on Jamtara. So, have you followed Jamtara on that day?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Excellent,
Yes, sir. I
excellent.
followed it. It's the fishing
So,
capital of India.
exactly. Now, the point is the subject was investigating cyber crimes. But what did I do?
Yes, sir.
I showed, demonstrated a cyber crime.
Yes,
What
sir.
did I do? Going into Gmail. User ID, I know, TJJ, followed by 1234. Then my Facebook account. Then
The
in the
family
Facebook,
photo.
exactly. So I have actually walked you, meaning not only Nagalakshmi madam, but all the audience, how to really perform the crime. Instead of telling about investigating the cyber crime, I have enacted the cyber crime. Not physically doing, but orally I have told A to Z.
Yes,
Did
sir.
you appreciate that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Excellent,
It
excellent.
was very helpful.
Hope you have followed that. Now coming to today's other presentations.
Sir, I would like to ask you, like, which book you would ask us to buy or something. Actually, I'm very new to this cyber loss,
Little bit advanced,
but
madam. Uh, this is I follow this. Actually, it's a very good book, but this is for little bit advanced people. Uh,
it's okay.
you're able to see that, madam?
Yeah, Information and Technology, 7th edition, cyber loss. But who is the author, sir?
You
Acha,
saw?
okay. Yeah, Vakul Sharma and Seema Sharma. Okay, okay.
Yes, yes. It's a very good book, which I follow,
Okay,
and a
okay.
lot of many little bit. You should have little foundation
Knowledge.
on the technology.
Okay.
I don't say knowledge, but foundation you should have, so that you can
Sir, I'm
follow
an
and
MCA
leverage the.
holder, sir. I'm an MCA holder also.
Great, great. So you can easily follow. You can easily follow.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That
sir.
is yes, yes. You can easily follow. Now getting into other. It's already 9. So we have 2 more presentations. I will just get into the details.
రమణ గారు, జగదీశ్వరరావు గారు, గౌరీ శంకర్ గారు, మీరు ఏమన్నా అడగాలన్నా ఏమన్నా ఉంటే అడగచ్చు.
Okay, I'm ready for the screen sharing, madam.
ఓకే, ఓకే సార్, ఓకే.
If you have any questions, please go ahead. Go ahead, madam.
Sir, yeah, very practically, when I asked my colleague regarding how the practice of cyber crimes, dealing of the things were going on in the courts, he simply said, like, actually, I need the practical picture, what happens in the courts, sir. Very practical picture. Just
Madam.
a glance of it, glance.
I'll tell you, madam. If somebody watches my last presentation, they can really do the crime. It is up to that, like a stepwise instructions I have given, no, madam. You follow,
Sir,
no? You
that is okay. Sir, yours, so what I'm telling you is, like, you have given in what way a crime can be done. But I'm asking regarding in what way that case can be argued in the court.
that
It's the
see,
same
what is
process
that?
for the-
You see the slide, I mean my schedule, madam. You see the schedule. Last 2 days, you see.
Okay. One second. Last 2 days. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, interactive sessions, open forum for case discussion and problem solving, addressing participant specific queries, practical considerations and case strategies, drafting cybercrime compliance and mediation. Okay, presenting cyber
In our
evidence.
American parlance, you see, I don't extrapolate or talk more, but outwardly I'm an Indian, but inside I'm acculturized American. I'm sorry to say that, it is true. So you are jumping the gun. What is that word? The 9th and 10th days are there only for Sirisha madam.
Okay, 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 sir. Okay, 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 sir. Please
Right.
continue with your session.
Understood. Am I fair enough to point give you the pointers of 9th and 10th day? Okay.
Sure, sure, sure,
Challenge
sure,
to
sir.
everybody. Challenge to everybody. All get ready for the 9th and 10th day session, like that. You now compete with Sirisha madam. Okay. So that you are ready to discuss live cases. In fact, I have to send you daily one report on central government's daily digest. I will send to next session. I had the idea today, but I didn't have the ready-made digest to send it. If not, I will just forward it. 1 second.
మేడం, మీ పేరేంటి మేడం? అక్కడ రెడ్మీ నోట్ 9 అని అంతే ఉంది. అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి సార్. సార్, ఎవరన్నా రెగ్యులర్ గా సైబర్ క్రైమ్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసే వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారా ఇక్కడ? రమణ గారా? సార్, అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి సార్. ఒక్క నిమిషం, నేను అన్మ్యూట్ చేస్తాను. ఒక్క నిమిషం. అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి రమణ గారు. యా, చెప్పండి.
సైబర్ క్రైమ్ డైలీ టు అంటే ప్రాసెస్ లో పెట్టేటంట్లో కంపారిజన్స్ టు కోర్ట్స్ ఈజ్ ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ సైబర్ స్టేషన్స్ ఈజ్ మెన్షన్డ్ ఇన్ మల్టిపుల్ ఏరియాస్ సైబర్ నేరం సైబర్స్ ఎక్కువగా జరుగుతున్నప్పటికీ మరి సైబర్ స్టేషన్స్ నాట్ ఇంప్లిమెంటెడ్. మేడం,
అంటే మీరు సైబర్ క్రైమ్ సాల్వ్ అవ్వట్లేదని చెప్తున్నారు అంతేనా?
సైబర్ జ్యూరిస్డిక్షన్ స్టేషన్స్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఇంప్లిమెంటెడ్. సైబర్
Okay,
సైబర్
okay.
సైబర్ స్టేషన్స్,
ఓకే.
one cyber
Okay,
station,
okay.
3 districts involved. One cyber station, zonally one cyber station. One zone is three jurisdictions.
రెడ్మీ నోట్ గారు అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి మేడం. అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి మీరు. రైట్. అయినా మీరు మామూలుగా అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు కదా, నేను ఇవ్వాల్సిన అవసరం ఏం లేదు ఇక్కడ. మేడం మళ్ళీ మ్యూట్ అయింది, అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి. ఆ రెడ్ మైక్ సింబల్ ఉంది కదా, దాని మీద క్లిక్ చేయండి మీరు,
మేడం
ఆటోమేటిక్ గా అది
అందరికి పర్మిషన్ ఇవ్వలేదు.
ఓకే,
ఇవ్వలేదా? ఓకే
వన్
ఓకే
సెకండ్ మేడం, నేను పంపిస్తున్నాను. యూ విల్ హ్యావ్ ఎ ఫేర్ ఐడియా.
Hello.
యా చెప్పండి రమణ గారు, మీరు చెప్తూ ఉన్నారు.
Yes, madam. Madam, cyber stations, jurisdictions wise, cyber courts, cyber stations implement చేయలేదు.
అవునా? ఓకే.
సైబర్ స్టేషన్స్ జోనల్ వైజ్ గా 3 districts, 4 districts ఇన్వాల్వ్మెంట్ ఇన్ 1 స్టేషన్.
ఓకే, అదేలేండి. 3-4 ఏరియాలకు కలిపి ఒక స్టేషన్ ఉండాలంటారు.
ఓన్లీ ఏరియా డిస్ట్రిక్ట్స్, 3 districts కలిపి 1 స్టేషన్ జోనల్.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు
చెప్పండి
సార్, ఇప్పుడు ప్రతి పోలీస్ స్టేషన్ లో దేర్ ఇస్ అ సైబర్ క్రైమ్ సెల్ అన్నమాట, wherein they take the complaint, cyber crime related
Yes, cyber cell is there. Cyber issues settled in matters in jurisdictions courts is not involved in the area. Is jurisdiction is one court is specifically cyber crimes. Economic crimes is
రమణ
court
గారు
special
తెలుగులో
court.
మాట్లాడండి. రమణ గారు తెలుగులో మాట్లాడండి.
మాట్లాడుకుందాం.
ఎకనామిక్ అఫెన్సెస్ కి ఉన్నట్టుగా స్పెషల్ కోర్ట్స్ ఇవ్వలేదు.
అవును,
ఎకనామిక్
బట్
అఫెన్సెస్
మాకైతే ఇక్కడ హైదరాబాద్ లో స్పెషల్ గా సైబర్ క్రైమ్ కేసెస్ రీ చేయడానికి కోర్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, అండ్ కోర్ట్స్ కూడా బాగానే రన్ అవుతున్నాయి సార్ ఇక్కడైతే ప్రెసెంట్ నేను చూసినంత వరకు. నేను వెళ్ళిన కుక్కడపల్లి కోర్ట్ లో దర్ ఇస్ వన్ కోర్ట్ స్పెసిఫికల్లీ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ ద సైబర్ క్రైమ్.
అవును.
ఐటీ యాక్ట్ కింద ఎక్కడైనా కోర్టులో కేసు తీసుకుంటున్నారు, కేసు నెంబర్ ఇస్తున్నారు. అది ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ ఆఫీసరు ప్రొసీడింగ్స్ ప్రకారంగా ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ ఆఫీసరు ప్రొసీడ్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఆ ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ ఆఫీసర్ కి సైబర్ తాలూకా డీటెయిల్ వర్క్ రావట్లేదు. అది ఛార్జ్ షీట్లు ఫ్రేమింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఛార్జ్ షీట్ లో కానీ ఫ్రేమింగ్ ఆఫ్ కంప్లైంట్ లో తీసుకోవడం కానీ వాటిలోని సరైన అవగాహన
అదేలేండి, డీల్ చేయటం రావట్లేదు అంటారు, కేసు సాల్వ్ చేయటం.
అది జనరల్ గా జనరల్ ఐఓస్ కండక్ట్ ద సైబర్ ఐఓ
ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్
నాట్ ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్. అంటే సైబర్ కి స్పెషల్ ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ ఆఫీసర్ నాట్ అట్ ఆల్ ఎక్కడ లేదు.
అదేలేండి.
అవును సార్, స్టిల్ అ గ్రోయింగ్ ఫీల్డ్.
నాట్ గ్రోయింగ్ ఇన్ కోర్ట్ పీరియడ్స్ వచ్చేసరికి కోర్టులోకి వచ్చేసరికి ఈజ్ టోటల్లీ అబ్జర్వేషన్ ఈజ్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ ఎంక్వైరీ టైమ్ ఈజ్ బిఎన్ఎస్ఎస్ లోని ఇప్పుడు కల్పించింది ఏమంటే ఎక్కువగా ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ పార్ట్ అథారిటీస్ కి ఎక్కువ ప్రయారిటీ ఇచ్చారు. ఎక్కువ ప్రయారిటీ అక్కడ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు కట్ ఆఫ్ ది కోర్ట్ ఛార్జ్ షీట్ బిఫోర్ కట్ ఆఫ్ ది కోర్ట్. ఛార్జ్ షీట్ ఎప్పుడైతే ఛార్జ్ షీట్ పడుతుందో అప్పటి నుంచి కోర్ట్ ఇన్వాల్వ్మెంట్ ఎక్కువగా ఉంటది. అటువంటప్పుడు ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ అటువంటి టైంలోని ఈ టైం పీరియడ్, ఈ సెక్షన్స్, ఈ ఇన్వాల్వ్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ ది కోర్టు ప్రొసీడింగ్స్, నాట్ ఇప్పుడు ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ ఆఫీసర్ కి టోటల్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఇచ్చినట్టు కానీ, ఎక్కడైనా ఉన్నట్టు కానీ, రూల్స్ లోను కానీ ప్రొసీ
రమణ గారు వాయిస్ కట్ అయింది. ఓకే ఓకే రమణ గారు మళ్ళీ మాట్లాడతామండి. జైకర్ సార్ వచ్చారు.
అర్థమైందా? ఓకే,
అర్థమైంది సార్. జైకర్ గారు మీరు ఏదైనా కామెంట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారా రమణ గారు చెప్పింది?
బాగుంది రమణ గారు. కీప్ దట్ కన్వర్జేషన్ లైవ్, బట్ లెట్ us go into the subject. But I appreciate sharing some knowledge, and it's an enlightenment for everybody, including me. So that's nice.
యాజ్ ఏ లాయర్ గా మనం లా సబ్జెక్ట్ అంతా తెలుసుకుంటున్నాం, కానీ లా సబ్జెక్ట్ కి వెళ్ళేసరికి ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ ఆఫ్ పాయింట్ 0. అది ప్రాక్టికల్లీ ఇంప్రూవ్డ్ పర్సన్స్ మనమంతా, కానీ నాలెడ్జబుల్ పర్సన్స్ మే, ఈ స్టోర్డ్ పర్సన్స్ మే. ఈజీ ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ నాట్ ఈజీ. అది ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ లో ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ పార్ట్ అథారిటీస్ ఈజ్ కండక్టింగ్ సమ్ వేరియేషన్స్, డిఫరెన్సెస్ అది సఫర్ అవుతున్నాం చాలా చోట్ల.
Exactly, sir. Ramna Garu and all participants, you should understand what is capacity building. I explained very clearly. There is a gap of, like, who is chasing whom? I am repeating that word. Who is chasing whom? Just now, madam told growing. I said evolving. So cyber crime is quite innovative, and there is research is going on. Like I told you, Nigerian fraud. I told you several incidents, live incidents I have told. Why? Because today Jamtara is there. Phishing was defined 10 years back. When they have implemented? Recently. Who? 76 cases were there. What happens to the law enforcement agency? Who is chasing whom? Crime is chased by, or crime resolution is chased by, law enforcement agency. If they are proactive, am I visible?
Yes, sir.
You are visible, audible.
If they are proactive, why 76 cases are reported? If not so many, how many lakhs have been siphoned off? Phishing was defined when I studied cyber law in 2000. We were only having limited to, as Ramnagar said, definitions. 2 days back, I have told about how to enact the crime. That was told, defined. How the cyber crime happens, also that was told. But the perpetrators have given a gap of 20 years, I should say. And they have used here in Jamtara. Still, our Indian law enforcement agencies are lagging. So there is a dire need of capacity building in equipping law enforcement agencies to understand the crime first. Leave alone resolution or nabbing the culprit or resolving the criminal issue. I mean cyber crime. You follow Ramnagar? Why? Because they lack understanding. Even our judges now, just 2 days back, a judge was telling, sir, I don't know that, sir. Then I had to explain the BNSS. Then I had to explain what is document. They are still in the legacy thinking that certified copies of a Xerox copy cannot be given. Then I quoted Order 10, Rule 9.3, and told what is a document, what is an image. Just now, 2 days back, we have also talked about electronic record, electronic evidence, digital evidence. So, what is the digital evidence? Any Xerox copy, any picture, any image, any voice. I also told about Indian Evidence Act, which was taking only 2 into consideration, oral and documental evidence. Whatever the third one, digital record and digital evidence, is further extrapolated to document. What is document? Any image, any voice, any damn thing under that. And if you go back to legacy system, anything which is inscribed on a substance, anything which is what to say, like inscripted, all these definitions still hold good, but the documental, but the definition of an evidence has changed, evolved over a period of time. That's a good cut and razor for understanding the capacity building aspect. Now coming to, please see the computer network, please see the computer network on the right side. Then you pose some questions, understand this before we go into the main subject of intermediaries under the IT Act. We are at 925.
We are not able to see anything, sir. Computer network.
It is there right side now.
So, getting into the slide details, computer network consists of the source, that is wireless access point, then the wireless devices interconnected, there is a printer, there is a switch, there is a server, there is a router, there is a wired network or local area network or wide area network, distributed computers, disconnected in a disparate manner. There is a router, there is a firewall, there is a internet. Now, just now I cited example of VPN. What purpose it served, or what purpose it served, and what purpose it is serving? It is nothing but a firewall which did not allow even my own banking application to work unless until that firewall is overthrown or empowered or taken out. Only then banking transaction could have taken place. But I did not allow it because anything can happen.
Sir, that time we had to off the VPN and we had to do banking or what?
Yes, but I did not do. I did not do.
Why, sir?
Why? Because see, we two are talking now, and it's
Yes.
also it's also live on YouTube.
Yes.
Can you guarantee me that there is no third person other than the real participant who is overhearing us?
Yes, sir.
Likewise, on a channel, established connection, many snoopers can be there, many hackers would be there. What are the, I talked about round robin technique, or in the layman's language, keep on throwing stones. If there is a glass, we will hit it.
Then how we can do the banking, sir, then?
Exactly, through VPN. Bring the transaction into your VPN.
But
That's the
if
solution.
app is not allowing, no, then how we'll do?
No. See, when the VPN is established as an umbrella or a conduit, all transactions with this tunneling protocol are safe and secure. Understood? So you log in through your VPN, you invoke the VPN first, and then log in through the VPN, then your transaction is through. Nobody can see you transacting with the bank or the intermediary or the receiver or the payer or the payee. So you are safe.
Sir, can I simply put that in this way, sir? For example,
Please.
PhonePe app is there. PhonePe app is there.
Right.
Only if you log in there, then only you can do all the transactions from there.
Exactly.
In the same way, VPN also you need to log in, and there you need to do all the transactions so that you'll be protected from all the
One-to-one. It's a transaction one-to-one under an umbrella.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Okay.
Follow. Now getting into the details. What is the definition of intermediary? Which section? Section 2.1 and subclass W of IT Act 2000. IT Act is the major foundation for which the amendment in 2021 has come with the IT rules to deal with the intermediaries. So what is an intermediary? Examples: social media platforms, WhatsApp, search engines, Google, online marketplace, e-commerce websites, cloud storage providers, and messaging services. So these are the examples of intermediary. You will be wondering, oh, who is that intermediary? So any person who provides any service or facility for the purpose of enabling or facilitating communication between a user and any third party. Now, what are the key features? Key features of intermediary. Intermediaries act as a bridge between the user and the third parties, facilitating the exchange of information or services. So information is what? Information is the subset of a superset called data. And data comprises of voice, pictures, encrypted messages, videos, anything under the sky which can go through internet transactions. Next, why intermediaries are not responsible? So, just now I took about the content to be taken down by the regulatory authorities when the content is offensive. But I just also told, sir, we are just providing the services. What to do with Bangladesh in India? We are just providing the service. But at the same time, as an amendment, I told this example, when a murderer is a prime culprit, but the witness is also having the same punishment. Likewise, he is also providing the service of enabling or facilitating the communication between the user and the receiver or any third party for that matter. Right? Then comes the safe harbor, I will tell you. But you should understand, I have already set the context with my first presentation. Now comes intermediaries are not responsible. They are like platform that connects only people. That's why they wash their hands. Next, types of intermediaries. The IT Act categorizes intermediaries based on their role and function, with each type having their own specific obligations and liabilities. Obligations and liabilities. See, please remember, what are the obligations and what are the liabilities? Liabilities, you become a liability when you do something wrong, or when you are in a contract of providing the service from one party or one user to any third party. What are the guidelines and your boundaries set for you as an intermediary? Like I told the example of WPS, and when I was installing, it was also asking, Google takes your personal information. Now you all note down and say, in 2012, I raised a question in the open forum of several senior security personnel that Google is taking my data. It's a blatant allegation I made in the common public or very later on, 2020, class action suit against Google. Please Google how much penalty they have paid. Understood? I was the whistleblower, I should say. It's in YouTube. So many people in Infosys and other people, it's a big forum. I raised the question. But some other people have come into situation where they said what Jayakar sir has raised the question is genuine, and it led to a class action suit against Google, who have abused personal information. They had to pay heavy price in the class action suit in 2020. What are the liabilities? What are the specific obligations? When people like us blindly, or I quoted my example, a girl child doing her project work, downloading the endangered species of a tiger, suddenly she sees a pop-up of child pornography and she clicks it, and she has established a conduit or a connection between the perpetrator, who is a pedophile, to this child. What is that obligation? You as a service provider, you should immediately cut down the connection and see that this child who is vulnerable is to be safeguarded. So that is the obligation. And what is the specific obligation? More so, you have screening the content. The screening content is nothing but a pornographic site which is connecting to this child who is using her mother's laptop in completing her project on endangered species. And the endangered species is a Bengal tiger, white tiger. She was downloading the image and this pops up. So these are the obligations and specific liability. The moment you do not do that obligation, you become liable. Now coming to types of social media intermediaries, I already told you. Then search engines. Google is a search engine, a website or a service that helps users to find information on the internet by indexing and retrieving the relevant content. Then online commerce, many are there. Online commerce sites are there who provide a platform that facilitates transactions between the buyers and sellers, connecting them for commercial purposes. Then, e-commerce intermediary, a website or service that allows user to purchase goods or services online, often providing payment processing, order fulfillment, and customer support service. How many people know Urban Clap?
Myself, sir.
Oh yeah, Urban Clap.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I know that.
Good. How many people know Handyman?
No idea.
It is Urban Clap is similar web service provider like Handyman in America. What we used to do, I need a plumber. Go to handyman.com and pick up a plumber or pick up a group of plumbers and tell them your issue that my pipe is leaking in the bathroom or washroom, and he will see visually, if not understand vocally, through your conversation, and he will offer a quote. That quote, if it is reasonable and fits into your pocket, you will hire him. Likewise, this Urban Club also has a kitty of handymen, meaning people who are skilled in various skill sets, like in masonry, like in plumbing, like in carpentry. So you engage, go to Urban Club and do that. So this is e-commerce intermediary. What is the website? urbanclub.com. Now, what are the responsibilities? So I also take you little bit side business of ours is top tips for stay internet safety. So stay anonymous. So I also mentioned how many people know my DP? It's a shepherd dog. So I did not put my picture. I'm repeating myself. So stay anonymous. Maintain your privacy. Ensure that your passwords are very strong. Think before you post. Why? If it is offensive, then you are landing into problem inviting BNSS 192, 196, 299. It could affect your future employment. Why? Once you are blacklisted, you are tagged, and your tag is shared with many user groups. And the moment Jaker is applying for a job or taking up the client engagement, they will have an opportunity to check your credentials and your points and your net presence. And you have certain credits if you are a netizen with integrity, ethics, not purporting to anything, not instigating, not being offensive on the net, not being uh, lascivious, meaning sexual orientation, and ours are a little bit excited on the other gender. These are all points will be added to your profile, which give a rating of say 7 by 10 or 9 by 10. Thus, it affects your future employment, be it a regular or a contract or a part-time, or for that matter, engaging a client or client selecting you. We have advocates.com and several websites which provide legal services, and they have kitty of lawyers, and each lawyer has a rating. That rating is affected here because of your simple undisciplined post or a loose statement made or a unguarded action, meaning out of the blue you do something and you want to delete, but still the intermediary WhatsApp has given 15 minutes to delete for everyone. Within that 15 minutes, if you have repented yourself of your action, if you have understood what your post might cause, the ramifications and the impacts, if you have realized, immediately you should delete within 15 minutes. If not, you are stuck. Next, remember, nothing is private. I already told you, Ramana garu, I posed a simple question. How many people are hearing both of us? Now we think that amongst the participants, only Jayakar and Ramana garu is listening or talking. But Madam Sridevi is there, Mahesh is there, all in the group. All are snoopers only, I should say. We are, because it's not a private, so nothing is private. Don't say anything you wouldn't say in real life. Remember, don't post another people's photos. Never post invitations unless you are absolutely sure they will be seen as an individual by a closed group. So if you are feeling uncomfortable, you don't just simply believe it. Just always check what you are up to. Now coming back to that, is this is all pertain to due diligence, because you have to be investigating your own actions. You also do some introspection. That only, like in many scriptures, that people say you have to repent. So at the same time, you have, unless until you inspect yourself, your actions or your motives or your intentions or your speech, you cannot come to the conclusion that yeah, I did a wrong, I did wrong you, and I have to repent, seek your forgiveness. So you should be the first one to say sorry. Otherwise, you are inviting trouble. And more so on the net, you are inviting a due diligence from the government authorities. I told you 2 marks, 2 marks turning blue, 2 marks turning red. Understood? So don't be so easy and comfortable in forwarding whatever you receive. Just now I told you Bangladesh example. Now coming to content removal. Now intermediaries are required to remove or disable access to unlawful content upon receiving that notice from the appropriate authorities. I told you, no, check your ways, check your motives, and check your actions. Please, Jalkar, what you posted is unlawful and it erupts violence and it may lead to rioting. It is creating a communal disharmony and it is creating a rift between two communities. So all these 192, 196, 299, I'm repeating myself that once you are coming out of my workshop, you should be very tech savvy, at the same time legally aware and legally compliant too. Otherwise, you will be inviting the triage. You are inviting the trouble from the law enforcement agency, and you should not become a liable. You should not become liable, lest ignorance is a bliss. Now, transparency and accountability. Intermediaries should maintain transparency in their policies and procedures, making them readily available to the users and authorities. So, once you have come under the radar of law enforcement agency, you cannot get away, because the summons will follow, or search and seizure will follow the summons. So you should be ready and always keep your system clean. If some porn site is downloaded or a video is downloaded without your presence, you should keep checking. Unknowingly something has been downloaded. Yes, hackers will do that. Hackers will do that. So you be very careful in just clicking the link. It may lead to downloading of a movie or a small reel or a small video which has a liable content which is unlawful. Now comes washing of hands. Exemptions for intermediaries. The IT Act provides exemptions for certain intermediaries based on their specific nature and operations, acknowledging there that all intermediaries are same. No, because each has their own business on the web or business on the net. So some provide services, some provide products, some provide intermediaries, or some provide via media products with services. So some are governmental, some are non-commercial, some have limited scopes. So government-owned, controlled by intermediaries are generally exempt from certain obligations, because most of the government sites are service-oriented, not product-oriented. Service-oriented, they have their own limitation. These are services provided, like eSeva is there, MeSeva is there. So these are all providing the services, but not the products. Some product is there, okay, you can download and print a Aadhaar card. So that's a product. So you should understand what is government-owned intermediary, and which are controlled and governed, and they should be compliant to the regulatory requirements of the government regulations, which are laid out in IT rules of 2021. You got the holistic picture, that's the full picture. Now comes the non-commercial. Intermediaries that are not operating for profit or commercial gain may be eligible for exemptions. So non-profit organizations. Now what is the latest? Latest is Elon Musk has sued whom? AI, OpenAI. So this is the latest. What he has done? Oh, you are claiming a non-profit and making business and asking, charging the users $20 for ChatGPT and GPT-4. Now for GPT-4 today it has come 4.0. So these are the, like, you preach something, you practice something. That's why he has raised a flag and said, I will sue you. For what is that? You have proclaimed yourself OpenAI as a non-profit organization, and your model is a commercial model, and it is proving to be a business-oriented model. That's why he has raised a flag and a suit. Now, limited scope, intermediaries. Today's news, I'm told about Elon Musk. So now, limited scope. Limited scope calls for intermediaries with a narrow scope of services or activities which may be exempted from some regulations. See, not all are called into the regulatory framework. Some are exempted. That's why they have their own limited scope. Now the liabilities. So vicarious liabilities and direct liabilities. What are the vicarious liability? If an employee commits a mistake, it is the employer who is pulled up. So that is vicarious liability. Direct liability. Intermediaries that can be held directly liable if they actively promote or facilitate unlawful activities on their platforms. So certain I can name, but at the same time, in India this happened before elections. That is gone by, but at the same time, they were directly liable for I should say supporting one party or 400 इस बार 400 की पार. So everybody was taken for ransom or instigated or emotionally hijacked that okay, anyhow BJP is getting 400. So that is the mindset that can be created by an intermediary which become liable, directly liable. Judicial interpretations of intermediary provisions. So now, as I told you, if you are proactive, you could have come up with the Shreya Singhal versus Union of India. Very, very prominent case. And Section 66A was scrapped and out of the freedom of speech as per Article 19(1). There is a very beautiful landmark judgment. So these are the judicial interpretations of intermediary provisions. Indian judiciary has played a significant role in shaping the interpretation of the intermediary provisions, providing valuable guidance on their application. So you just, I'll provide you all these screenshots as well as all these PPTs, but we'll rush through because you're all advocates, practicing advocates, just noting down the parties. You can easily follow and get into the details of the stories. Likewise, MySpace versus Super Cassettes Industry. This is the 2011 case where Delhi High Court ruled that internet is not liable for the content uploaded by a user unless it has the knowledge of the unlawful content and fails to remove it. See, that's why I asked you to do the introspection. Introspection leads to understanding with a best practice or a set standard or an ethical standard where your very move turned out to be unethical and you understood and you realized the mistake and repented for your action. So you seek forgiveness for the offender. So for the offended. Offender, you are offending the offended, and once he realizes that he is offended, waits for some time to tap the legal door. Within that time, if you repent and reconcile, that is again, I always a proponent of arbitration and reconciliation, you are landing into a trouble, becoming a heavy liability for not only to you and your family, but to the Telangana or for Andhra or wherever you are, it revolves around you. So be careful. Next, you have to remove it. Otherwise, you will be directed by a court law or court order that remove the content because you are intermediary who provided and set a conduit. Likewise, R.K. Sharma versus Union of India. Importance of intermediaries taking proactive steps to prevent dissemination. That's what I told you. Once you know this could be wrong and the child is connected to a dark net or unlawful pornographic site, the moment there are triggers. I am also a developer too. So a packet which is leading to certain sites raises a trigger because my code is being always run with a round robin technique, that these are the trusted sites, these are untrusted sites. This untrusted site is being addressed by this IP address to that. That means it's a unwarranted site which the child is landing into. Immediately you have to cut down as an intermediary, you have to cut down this channel, but you have allowed it. Allowed means you have established the content. So that is what hackers do. They bypass even the regulatory authority also and establish the content that this child who is already vulnerable is in live conversation with the pornographic or PDF files. So such is the danger. Conclusion and key takeaways. Now one more presentation is there. I will conclude shortly. So conclusion and key takeaways. IT Act provisions on intermediaries have been instrumental in shaping the online landscape in India, balancing the need for freedom of expression and with the need to prevent harm. Think about Article 19.1. Think about Shreya Shingal and the Union of India. So these are the things which are always kept as a mirror for us to introspect, forgive, repent, lest you become liable. Now, digital rights. What are these digital rights and how you safeguard yours? Provisions aim to protect fundamental rights such as freedom of speech and expression while ensuring the responsible use of digital platforms. So that is your awareness with regard to your digital rights, like what we have as constitutional rights, what we have as fundamental rights. You do have digital rights also because you are a net citizen or netizen. Now comes to balancing act, where you have to balance yourself so that you do not become a liability. The law strives to create a balance between the fostering a vibrant digital ecosystem and protecting the individuals and the society at large from being a potential harm. So you have to balance it so that you do not become a liability and invite trouble. What is that Madam told? Growing cybercrime, evolving landscape. Not only the evolving cybercrime, the landscape it changed its counters. Counters means my Hyderabad limit was about 40 years. Shamirpet was a village for Golconda. By the way, I am an athlete too. I represented India. We were in the Polytechnic hostel, Masab Tank. So my run was to go to Qutub Shahi tombs and come back. How many kilometers? More than 46 kilometers. That's how I participated in Columbus Marathon in USA representing India. So that is me. So what are the boundaries? Evolving landscape. Our Hyderabad did not have as a suburb as Shamirpet. Today, Shamirpet has become the vicinity of Hyderabad where you can go and eke out a picnic or make a good family show at the Shamirpet Lake. So evolving landscape. So what was a suburb like Qutub Shahi Tomb, so only people can go to a picnic. Now it is in the heart of the city. Shamirpet was a suburb, northeastern suburb of Hyderabad, has become part of the city. Likewise, cybercrime earlier, what is it? All the cyber crimes. Hacking has become later, but earlier was phishing, just sending an email and identity theft. These were the first initial basic crimes. But where we have ended now, AI, if I tell you about AI, there are chatbots who are being coded, particularly people coming from the computer background like Sridev Madam and Nagasri Madam, Nagalakshmi Sirisha Madam. These have to be understood. The chatbots are written to mimic using artificial intelligence. Leave alone the actual intelligence, artificial intelligence, that how new crimes can be invented. You follow? That is the evolving landscape. With this, I say thank you, and your takeaways are in. And with this second presentation, I would give a pause for 5 minutes, and I'll stop sharing my thing and throw the floor open so that it can create a new interaction. And Madam Red Me Note, Madam, your name, please.
Sir, this is Anuradha.
Anuradha, Madam, you also posed about the growing cybercrime. I told evolving cybercrime. Anuradha, Madam, now you know. So I walked you through. One more is there. One more presentation is there. Now I walked you through from day 1 session to day 6 session. Now, who has any questions or concerns? I'll give 5 minutes for my throat to clear. I'll just block my video while I can listen and speak to you also. Go ahead with the question and answers. And only 13 people are remaining. I don't know. But anyhow.
No,
who
sir,
are
25. 25.
25. Okay,
Yeah.
25 people. Whoever wants to interact, let them interact and come up with questions and enter into chat.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead. Speak louder, madam.
Yeah, regarding cookies, sir. Whenever we open a site, we get a message, do you want the cookies to be allowed? So should we
Yeah, go ahead. Cookies?
should we allow the cookies to be opened or
That's what I told you, madam. There are 3 or 4 options in accepting cookies. You accept only performance cookies. Don't accept universal or all cookies. Where cookies will have performance analysis, analytics about a particular user. So you as Anuradha madam can be tracked, and what are your choices of your interactions over the web. Based upon your interactions of the web, suddenly out of the blue, they will send you a nice Benares sarees picture, because first of all you are a lady, and your talk and interaction was a little bit on the north oriented, and they will track all this becomes analysis, and that become predictive analysis. And the chatbots who are listening to your interactions over the web through these cookies collect all that personal information, pass on to the vendor who is selling sarees. You follow, no? Simple example. So don't accept all cookies.
Sir, one thing, it's not like that actually. There is only one option, or you allow cookies or not. So you are telling in depth. So that is right, absolutely. But as a personal individual, we only have one choice: allow cookie or not. That's it.
No, sir. No, sir. If you go to further down, if you click on that allow cookies part, then comes the choices and options in the cookies. In the cookies, as I told you, allow only performance cookies, or you can customize the cookies which are being accepted by you.
Achha.
Yes, you have the selection, you have a choice, because class action suit of Google, as I raised in 2012, has led to this personal information gathering. How can
Yes, sir.
how can you as a search engine intermediary or
But what you do is right. But we are installing any app, it was actually take our all call logs, memory, storage, all everything can be allowed. Then only the apps will get installed. No, then how it is
Yes,
correct?
sir.
That is
the
not correct. No?
the very question I raised in 2012 amongst the seniors and security personnel and security people, it was a very big gathering, and I reported the matter. So how can you are hijacking me? One word, ARK Garu. Google is hijacking me and forcing me to accept all cookies, collecting all the information. Why you do need my personal information when I am trying to be a user of that app? It is
Yes.
Google Play Store which is identifying this app, and there are see, snipping tool. Snipping tool is the one we use it for taking a screenshot. How many screenshot taking tools are there, apps are there? Many are there. So it is my choice what app to select. Likewise, but whichever app which I have selected, I'm trying to install, and that guy is forcing me to give access to photos, give access
Yeah.
to the folders, give access to edit, give access
Call
to delete,
up.
give access to delete, give access to modify. Why do they require to delete all my photos from my folder?
That is what, sir. They are asking allow storage, call logs, message, everything they
Take a
are asking.
screenshot, forward it to me. I will pull that fellow.
Every app is like
Sure,
that only,
sir.
sir.
That is why I'm saying what is that cyber forensic analysis and what is the cyber forensic advocates like us who are the like what my first screen told. I am your technology advocate.
But you're too.
This is not to be entertained, ARK Garu, not to be entertained. That's why these apps are hijacking us, forcing us to accept all,
Yes,
which
sir.
we have to report the matter to the authorities.
Sure, sir. Sure. Yeah, got it, sir.
It is wrong of them. But many apps are there, hundreds are there, if not lakhs are there. Then what is the legal, legal authorities, law enforcement agencies are doing? I just told you the child who was downloading Bengal Tiger encountered a pop-up. The pop-up is about a porn site or inviting which the child falls prey to it out of anxiety. She never knew that by clicking on that, she is establishing a connection to a pedophile who is lurking on the dark, and it is leading to a child pornography site. But this channel is simply coming, is not intermediary involved, is not the corresponding internet service provider is not involved. Above all, there is a
But
legal framework. There is a law enforcement agency. What the hell these all three people are doing?
Sir, but
This
practically,
is
I
what
don't.
I am trying to say.
Sir, practically, this is the experience of all of us mostly here. When we
Me
are
too, madam. Me too. I pulled up, and it has led to class action suit against Google.
సార్ ఒక్క క్వశ్చన్ సార్.
చెప్పండి సార్.
ఇప్పుడు డ్రోన్ సిస్టమ్ లో డ్రోన్ ఉంది కదా, డ్రోన్ సిస్టమ్ ఈజ్ ఐటీ టెక్నాలజీ, ఐటీ యాక్ట్ ఇన్వాల్వ్ డ్రోన్ యాక్ట్?
I will tell you, sir. Let me walk you through my personal.
ఐటీ యాక్ట్ డ్రోన్ సిస్టమ్ ఈజ్ డ్రోన్ ఉన్నది కదండి. ఆ డ్రోన్ అనేది ఎక్కడ పడితే అక్కడ డ్రోన్ ప్లేన్ చేస్తున్నారు, డ్రోన్ ని యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారు. డ్రోన్ యూజ్ చేసినప్పుడు కవర్డ్ ల్యాండ్ సిస్టమ్ మీద ఏదైనా ప్రోగ్రామ్ జరిగినప్పుడు డ్రోన్ పైన ప్లే చేస్తారు కదా. ఆ పైన డ్రోన్ ప్లే చేసేటప్పుడు అది ఎంతవరకు ఆ సిస్టమ్ లోని ఎర్రర్స్ కానీ ఏదైనా అది ఎంతవరకు క్యాప్చర్ చేస్తుంది అనేది అది ఏ యాక్ట్ ప్రకారంగా తీసుకుంటారు? దానికి సంబంధించింది సైబర్ లోనే ఉంటుందా, ఐటీ యాక్ట్ లోనే ఉంటుందా, డ్రోన్ యాక్ట్ అనేది వేరేగా ఉంటుందా?
ఒక్క నిమిషం సార్. Before answering that question, by the time we get that answer, I will tell you my own personal information.
Drone system is comparisons other countries are developed. మన కంట్రీకి వచ్చేసప్పటికి డ్రోన్ యాక్ట్ అని ఎందుకు తీసుకొచ్చారు? డ్రోన్ యాక్ట్ మీద ఎవరికైనా అవగాహన ఉందా?
Exactly, sir. Before coming into that answer to your question, I want to just tell about myself.
So very recently, KTR visited that Kaleshwaram. No, that time somebody took that drone and they have put into action, sir.
Covered on pictures, total changes, and then.
Okay, you can find the drone. I will tell you. You can find the drone rules 2021 in sansad.in. Sansad is parliament actually, but anyway, because of the Sanskritization, saffronization, Hindiization of India, we have come up with which is unconstitutional, I am telling. Naming a law in Hindi is unconstitutional. How many people agree? Do you have any idea of any enactment or law which has to be in English or not? How many people are aware? We are not entering into any controversy, but I am striking at the awareness. So, this is all Sansad.in is another Hindi name for parliament, in which drone laws 2021 they have emerged. Like a computer system or any electronic device which is on the net should, if interacting with media, should have a MAC address. I told in the last couple of sessions back, MAC address. What is that MAC address? Media access control number. Like an IP address, this device, which is drone, should have a unique number, which is like a MAC address. Okay? Now, any purported crime, what is the basic purpose of drone?
To shoot videos.
What about the endrin, urea, which is sprayed on the crops?
Yes, sir. That is what I am trying to tell.
Which you just told shoot pictures, but it is also spraying the manure, spraying the vaccine, or spraying the
using courier services. Even.
pesticide. Yeah, that is what I'm saying. Pesticide. And what happened to Ukraine? What happened to Ukraine versus Russia?
War weapons.
Yes.
That is
Unmanned. So anyway, so these are the things which invite trouble. We have, see, sir, for talking, we have volumes. As Sridhar Madam told, don't pinch me
thank
there. I will walk you through hours of explanation. But we are already in 10:08.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll
Thank
go
you,
to
sir.
the next presentation. Anyway, I appreciate Ramna Garu and
Thank you, sir. Thank
Madam
you.
Anuradha Garu for sharing. For sharing is caring.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. So we'll go to another.
okay.